Boom! What's going on, everybody? I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'm opening up the warehouse doors on another episode of Toy Talk. Today's video is all about SpecCast 314 cotton picker that's mounted on a Farmall Super M tractor. But first, a brief history of cotton growing, harvesting, and processing in America. From a historical perspective, cotton was originally picked by hand. During the mid-1940s, it was the International Harvester Company that produced the first successful commercial mechanical cotton picker. Unfortunately, it did not work well in the South because when it rained, and it rains a lot in the South, the machine frequently got stuck in the mud. Manual labor was still needed to pick cotton. Once the bolls start to crack open, the fluffy cotton starts to push out of the covering. The cotton dries and fluffs up before being ready for harvesting. The dry cotton was simply pulled from the bolls by hand, and then it was stored until the seeds were ready to be removed from the cotton. One man and a horse will do more than 50 men with the old machines. Anybody out there know who said that? It was Eli Whitney, the inventor of the cotton gin. In 1794, U.S.-born inventor Eli Whitney patented the cotton gin, a machine that revolutionized the production of cotton by greatly speeding up the process of removing the seeds from the cotton fibers. But this subject is not for this video. It's for another video and another day. We now have hand-picked cotton, a cotton gin to process that cotton, and now all the cotton farmer needs is a mechanical way to pick that cotton. In 1850, Samuel S. Rimbot and Jedediah Prescott of Memphis, Tennessee received the first patent ever for a cotton harvester, and they got that from the U.S. Patent Office. But it was almost a century later before the mechanical picker was commercially produced. Many inventors had tried designs for different cotton pickers. Most of their designs used a barbed spindle to twist the cotton fibers from the boll. However, these early designs were impractical because the spindle just became clogged with the cotton. In the 1880s, Angus Campbell, an agricultural engineer, thought the picker or the spindle would be the answer to making a successful mechanical cotton picker. So for the next 20 years, he worked on a spindle cotton picker. Each year, he made a trip to Texas during harvest time to test his latest model. Each year, his best efforts were met with mockery. The cotton growers always told him that cotton would be picked by hand forever. Campbell persisted with his attempts to make a spindle cotton picker, though. And Theodore H. Price, he joined Campbell, and together they formed the Price-Campbell Cotton Picker Corporation in 1912. The Price-Campbell machine performed poorly, but they believed that they were on the right track. Only something was missing. John Daniel Rust, he developed a usable cotton picker in the late 1920s. Rust remembered that when he was a kid, dew made the cotton stick to his fingers. And he also remembered his grandmother wet the spindle on her spinning wheel to let the cotton adhere. Well then, Rust reasoned, if a moist spindle on a spinning wheel causes the cotton fibers to adhere, then a smooth, moist spindle could be used to strip the fibers from a cotton boll without trapping the fibers in the machinery. Water had been the key ingredient that had been missing in making a successful cotton picker. In 1933, John Rust received his first of 47 patents on cotton picking machinery. His inventions worked, but in 1929 and the start of the Great Depression, development of his cotton picker was slowed to a near standstill. However, by 1935, finances were found, and in 1936, Rust cotton picker was demonstrated at the Delta Experiment Station in Stoneville, Mississippi. The Rust picker was not without problems, but it worked. Moving on to 1944, the International Harvester Company produced a commercially successful cotton picker. International Harvester, though, they had competition in the manufacture of the cotton pickers. John Rust, he realized that his cotton picker was not marketable, and during World War II, he redesigned his entire machine. Rust lacked the financial resources to build the machine, though, until he received an offer from Allis-Chalmers, and they wanted to produce Rust's machine using his patents. Rust's improved cotton picker design went into production by the Allis-Chalmers Company at the end of World War II. Cotton farmers were slow to adapt to the cotton picker because the cotton pickers were very hard on the plants and left considerable cotton still in the field. Something had to be done to correct this problem. But the solution this time, it didn't come from the machinery manufacturers. We had to call in a different group of people. The solution this time, it came from the horticulturalists. Horticulturalists are always working to develop better plants such as corn and wheat and other crops out there. But they had not neglected cotton. The horticulturalists had developed hybrid cotton varieties that when ripened had very desirable characteristics. These plants grew uniformly taller, and the new hybrid plants developed their cotton bolls higher off the ground. With those innovations, the cotton picker could now make just one pass through the field and collect all the cotton. Chemists, they were also busy inventing chemicals to help out with the cotton farmers. A special herbicide was developed for cotton. Cotton plants, they are leafy plants, and that caused problems for the cotton picker and the cotton gin. As the cotton was picked by the harvester, excess foliage got into the cotton and had to be removed by the cotton picker and ultimately by the cotton gin. So chemists developed a herbicide that caused the cotton plants to drop their leaves before picking time. This defoliation offered the farmer a cleaner harvest. This brings us to International Harvester and E.A. Johnston. He proposed a vacuum-powered cotton picker in 1922. I.H. tried the design, but the machine just failed. Not to be stopped by failure, though, I.H. continued to develop a cotton picker. In 1937, International launched a tractor-mounted cotton picker, and it met with some success. By 1942, I.H. had their first workable cotton picker on the market. The H10H was I.H.'s first successful cotton picker. In 1948, I.H.'s M12H McCormick-Deering model cotton picker was introduced. This cotton picker used a Farmall M tractor as a motive base. The driver and the cotton picker sat on the rear of the tractor, and the tractor was driven backwards. It sounds goofy to drive a tractor backwards, but it was the best and the most stable way to mount I.H.'s one-row cotton pickers. Now I've got this diagram here, and it shows the most important parts of the cotton picker, from the drums all the way up to the basket. Now I'll explain how the cotton picker works when I show off the SpecCast model. Incidentally, the modern day cotton pickers, they work basically the same way. I.H. built one-row cotton pickers for the smaller tractors, such as the Farmall B. However, the vast majority of them were made for the mid-size frame tractors, such as the Farmall H all the way up through the 460 series, and the large frame size tractors, such as the Farmall M up through the 560 series. Skipping on ahead to 1953, I will show you the SpecCast model 314 McCormick International Cotton Picker, and it's mounted on a Farmall Super M tractor. When I was a kid traveling through the South with my family, I noticed the fields was covered with weird looking plants. Of course, I'd never seen cotton plants before, so I didn't know what they were. One fall, when we was taking a trip down south, I noticed the fields was all dotted with marshmallows. Dad laughed. He said, "Those ain't marshmallows, that's cotton." About then, I seen a giant machine rolling through the field. It looked kind of like a combine, but it was different. And it was right then that I knew that I wanted to have a cotton picker in my farm toy collection, but I couldn't find one for years. Finally, Erdl made a modern Case IH cotton picker, and I was happy to get it and put it in my collection. But you know how it is. You get one and you want to find another. And this time, I wanted an older one. More years went by, and finally, SpecCast stepped up. They made a great big one in die-cast metal in 1/16 scale for the 2018 Red Power Roundup. And here it is, guys. It is a beautiful McCormick International 314 low drum, one row cotton picker mounted on top of a 1953 Farmall Super M tractor. A drum cotton picker works with two revolving picker drums when they both have bob spindles on them. And there's a drum here and there's a drum there. There's one on each side of the plants. Moisture applicators inside the drum moisten the spindles before they enter the plant to aid in picking and doffing the cotton. This is one of the hardest parts to figure out because without the moisture, the cotton just clogged the machine. Then the moist spindles pick the cotton from the bolls on each side of the plant. That's why there's two on a one-row machine. Rubber doffers, they remove the cotton from the spindles and they drop the cotton into the air conveyor inlets. There's one here and there's one here. The vacuum conveyor system, that's these two big pipes here, they draw the cotton from the air conveyor inlet up to the fan. And I'll show that when it gets back around. From the fan, the cotton is blown into the air blast conveyor system. And again, I'll show that in just a second when it gets back over here. Here, this is the fan, and then that's the air blast delivery system. Cotton, it's blown against the grates up here at the roof of the basket. The air passes through the grates and it carries the dirt and the trash with it on out. Then the cleaned cotton with just the seeds in it drops to the bottom of the basket. Once the basket is full, two hydraulic cylinders, there's one here and there's one here, they raise the basket up for dumping the cotton into a wagon or a truck to take it over to the module builder. On this tractor, the Farmall lift-all pump is used to power the hydraulic cylinders. SpecCast did an amazing job replicating these parts on top of the Farmall Super M tractor, a tractor they have not released before or since they made this cotton picker. And, true to their agreement with the Red Power, they haven't released the cotton picker mounted on top of another tractor either. And that makes this a very limited collectible item. To see some cotton pickers in action, click the link below, as I've gathered up some clips of these labor-saving machines running in the fields. Prominent manufacturers of making cotton pickers were International Harvester, Allis-Chalmers, and much later, John Deere. Today, cotton pickers have advanced to 6-row pickers with machine-mounted balers to improve efficiency in the field. This modern-day advancement has eliminated the dumping and the module building process and allows the farmer to pick and build the modules right on the same machine and then easily transport them off to the gin. Future improvements in picking machines and hybrid plants are in cotton's future. And who knows, maybe someday they will invent a cotton combine that picks and gins the cotton in the field. And that'll result in clean, processed, and baled cotton right off the picker, ready to ship to the textile mill. Cotton growing and harvesting have come a long way in the several thousand years since man first planted the cotton seed. Thanks guys for watching this video. And please go on and hit that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. I appreciate each and every one of my subscribers. Also, please hit that thumbs up button to let YouTube know that you like this video. I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'm closing up the warehouse doors on another episode of Toy Talk.